The most significant video ever made is this one. The world's wealthiest corporation, BlackRock, has its sights set on XRP Ripple. Why would they do it though? It's easy. According to experts, they are spending trillions of dollars purchasing XRP coins in expectation of growth. However, what sort of expansion do they anticipate? Experts in cryptocurrency forecast growth to $1,452. Quite awesome, isn't it? However, that is only the beginning. One step at a time is what we should do. Immediately, let's get started. Disclaimer: in the cryptocurrency world, Ripple's XRP has once again gained prominence, and there is rising conjecture that BlackRock may be involved in the introduction of an XRP ETF. A comment from the CEO of Ripple, who implied that such a move made sense for the XRP community as a whole, stoked the excitement. If accurate, this would be a significant change indicating institutional trust in the long-term worth and usefulness of XRP. It is impossible to exaggerate the importance of BlackRock's participation. With roughly $9 trillion under management, BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world and can legitimize, liquidate, and mainstream any asset it works with. "We are just awaiting clearance," said BlackRock's senior strategist in a tweet from Crypto Sensei, which fueled the flames. This implies that the main barrier to an XRP ETF is not technological or financial constraints, but rather regulatory barriers. However, why is an ETF so important for XRP Ripple coin? Let's put it in plain language. An ETF resembles an asset basket. Consider it a crypto mutual fund that is traded on conventional stock exchanges. Consider wanting to buy gold for a simpler illustration. By purchasing shares in a gold exchange-traded fund ETF, you can acquire gold without having to deal with the trouble of storing it yourself, as opposed to purchasing and keeping physical gold bars. This also holds true for a crypto ETF. Institutional investors, pension funds, and regular traders could all get exposure to XRP without having to deal with cryptocurrency wallets, exchanges, or complicated regulations. If BlackRock were to introduce an XRP ETF, significant demand could result from this, increasing liquidity and even raising the price of XRP. It's already clear that institutions are interested in XRP. In his widely shared tweet, John Squire alluded to BlackRock's staggering $9 trillion investment in XRP. Although this report is unsubstantiated, it highlights the magnitude of potential capital that is poised to enter the market. The CEO of Alpha Lions Academy, Edward Farina, contends that organizations are keen to purchase XRP at a discount. According to him, $2 is a steal, suggesting that institutions are subtly building up ahead of a significant breakout. However, economic constraints are forcing regular investors out of the market at the same time as this institutional accumulation. According to Farina, many people are finding it difficult to pay for even the most basic essentials, let alone hold on to cryptocurrency holdings, as a result of inflation, growing debt, and stagnating income. He cautions that job losses brought on by artificial intelligence in 2025 may cause the gap between institutional and retail investors to grow even more, enabling big firms like BlackRock to buy digital assets for less money. It is impossible to overlook XRP's tenacity in face of these difficulties. The token's trajectory could be even more explosive if the ETF rumors come to pass, as it has had a spectacular 500% growth in recent months. The notion that XRP would be of interest to BlackRock, a financial behemoth with extensive regulatory connections, is evidence of its increasing significance in the global financial system. According to one cryptocurrency specialist, XRP is required to address the present financial issue. XRP seems to be establishing itself as a major force in the financial industry of the future, regardless of the issue, whether it be institutional adoption, liquidity management, or cross-border payments. An important turning point for the asset and the larger cryptocurrency market would occur if an XRP ETF were approved. It would give legislative certainty, open the door for institutional finance, and establish XRP as more than simply another digital asset. It would gain popularity as a financial tool. Right now, all eyes are on the regulators and BlackRock. The game could be permanently altered by the next move. Quite awesome, isn't it? But ladies and gentlemen, it only gets more fascinating. With BlackRock's support, the price of XRP might soar. Not a joke. You will be astounded by the predictions made by crypto professionals. and that could be the biggest shock of our lives if what they're suggesting is accurate. Thus, there has been a lot of enthusiasm lately about XRP's future. Omenix's XRP is poised for a significant surge according to tweets. Additionally, the crypto community has been agitated by Jack the Ripper's audacious claim that XRP will turn people into multimillionaires. Then there is Steph's astounding forecast that XRP will reach $1,452. Let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet though. Yes, it is exciting to imagine XRP reaching astronomical heights. However, it's crucial to pause and examine the numbers for realism before we get caught up in the excitement. XRP's market value would have to grow to $10 trillion in order for it to hit $100, a sum greater than the current total market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies. Market caps that are so enormous that they begin to resemble science fiction rather than financial reality would be necessary to achieve even more ambitious projections, such as $300 or $10,000 per token. In order for XRP to reach $300 per token, its market capitalization would have to increase to an astounding $30 trillion, which is significantly more than the present cryptocurrency environment can support. Don't get me wrong, there is still a lot of room for XRP to expand. In the next years, XRP may reach more reachable goals like $10 or $15, thanks to its expanding use in international banking, alliances with significant organizations, and continued assistance from firms like Blackrock. These are more accurate numbers based on network growth and adoption patterns, particularly if an XRP ETF materializes. We must remain grounded despite the fervor surrounding outrageous price forecasts. Indeed, there is genuine excitement about XRP, and it is evident that the community anticipates significant developments. Setting reasonable expectations, however, requires knowing the statistics that underlie the excitement. Even though the idea of $300 per XRP may be thrilling, it is much wiser to keep yourself updated, concentrate on the basics, and exercise caution when making speculative forecasts. The path for XRP might ultimately be a marathon rather than a sprint. However, that does not imply that there isn't a lot of room for development along the route. Without a question, XRP has a bright future. However, as with anything in crypto, it's crucial to embrace the future while being rooted in reality. Not to be overlooked are Ripple's collaborations. We have already discussed BlackRock's increasing interest in XRP. What if I told you, however, that Ripple is going to make a significant move in the United States? Doesn't that seem intriguing? The signal that everyone has been waiting for may be this next revolutionary collaboration. Keep your eyes open. This is something you should not miss. President Donald Trump recently signed an executive order to replace the government's antiquated paper-based payment methods with safe and affordable digital ones, marking a daring step toward modernizing the U.S. Treasury payment infrastructure. Simplifying payments is not the only goal of this program. It's about fighting the system's long-standing inefficiencies, waste, and fraud. The objective: to completely automate federal payments, including benefit transfers, vendor payments, and tax refunds, with the goal of saving billions of dollars yearly. Although cryptocurrencies aren't specifically mentioned in the executive order, blockchain-based solutions like XRP are well positioned to benefit from this increasing trend toward digital payments. The goals of the order are in perfect harmony with the benefits that XRP offers. As Jack the Ripper said, transaction speeds are nearly instantaneous, and costs are essentially non-existent. Blockchain technology